Hello, hello, hello. All right, we're live. I'm just doing some final finishing touches, and we should be good to go. Yep, I can. My Discord is like broken for some reason. Hello, 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 hello. What is going on? I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to fix it.
Just take it. Okay. You want to hit him with a refresh real quick, off and on, and just let him. I'll let him know on Discord. Hey, we got a computer crisis.
Um, hold. It looks like it's kind of working now. Hold on.
Okay, holding.
Um, all right. Can you message her and tell her like there's technical difficulty? We're getting it fixed right now.
Okay. I'll let her know right now. Let me. Oh man, let me shoot her a message. I'll get into the server and just say it.
Okay.
But you are firing it up right now, though, right?
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Okay.
It's kind of busted. All right, hold on. I'm gonna join the Pixelborn so I can stream it.
Okay. I'm gonna come in there with you.
Hey Ellie, sorry, my computer is like completely fried right now. I'm trying to fix it really quickly, and we should be good to go in like 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Like, okay, okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Sorry, players. They can't hear me, but I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I'm still live right now, man. No, and we can apologize later, but I need you to lock in.
I
Lock in.
am. I am. I am. I'm going as fast
You
as I
got it.
can.
You're rocking, dude. No worries. No pressure, dude. No pressure. No diamonds. You're a real one. And we did test all this before we started, so everyone at home, just know that this was all good before we even started the show. We looked at it, everything was fine, and this is just technology. This is times, okay? So get off of everyone's case. Oh, Darkside Brian coming in with the raid. Thank you, Darkside. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate the raid supreme. We're about to be going into the LCCC here quite soon, and we'll be on Garrett's channel. I think he's live right now. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and kick this thing on over, man. So I want to thank you guys all for being here. It's been an absolute vibe in the morning, vibe in the evening, vibe at supper time, and there we go. So LCCC action coming your way. It's going to be Edmund Chu versus the youngster Aiden. A little NA on NA violence to start this thing off the right way. So I want to thank you guys all for being here. As always, it's me, your boy JDZ, and I am on a quest. Shout out to the real ones. Salute to the OGs. The LCCC starts now. All right. So here, and I will end the stream. Okay, so cool. We are rated right now. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, sorry, I'll shut up and let you do your thing.
You're good. Okay. And we can communicate in the Discord, yeah? In the call?
We can if we need to in the Discord call. Yes.
Yeah, because I think we're going to have to.
Okay, cool. We'll make that happen. No worries. I'll hop in there.
Okay. Okay. All right. And we can communicate in here. Is that okay? Okay, cool. It looks like this is good to go on our side, so we're just gonna transition and start because I know the players have been waiting. Okay, I am going to transition in 3, 2, and 1. For all of the issues, everybody, but we should be back and ready to go here.
JDZ and Garrick, you're going to want to
We're good. We're good. Yep, we're good. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to get your camera to work, but the players are good to go here.
If you do the stream labs situation there,
Mm-hmm.
well, it's okay if they can't see me. Can they hear me at least?
Yeah, they can hear you right now.
Okay. And I'm sure it'll pop in sooner or later. If not, there is, people know what I look like, or throw like a little image of me in there.
I'll get you in.
It's all good. As we're gonna have the youngster Aiden there rocking that patent pending Ruby and Amethyst strategy. We were just talking about that a little bit and how powerful we think that deck is. Ed Chu, we saw him in the previous round. Like you guys may not know, but they're able to exchange at a maximum of 10 cards in their strategy. We see that Ed has already elected to replace some number of cards for those Cinderellas. He wasn't playing that Cinderella the previous round, and now Cinderella seems to be a part of the deck. Aiden here, we will probably be able to get those deck lists up here later on. Has that David Xanatos is going to be in the strategy as well on the end of that altar as we are getting this thing started. Yo, I can see. We can see. We're back,
yeah,
dude.
we're back. We're so back. I'm sorry for all of the issues, everybody. But yeah, my internet kind of died, but we are here and we are ready to go with North America versus North America. Unfortunately, we had to get paired against each other. You know, we just win nonstop, but shout out to the North American players. They've been doing very, very well, and they're trying to make it 3 LCCCs in a row.
I think this is time. I think this is time. This is the time. But more importantly, I'm looking at this matchup. Okay, we got the youngster Aiden versus the powerhouse Edmund Chu. You guys know who he is. He needs no introduction. Versus the youngster Aiden, who has represented himself very well in this event so far, taking down Angelina in round number 1, starting with the Palace Guard on 1. I know he favors that 1-cost, 1/4 character. You're Ruby M in yourself, man. I know we talked about it previously.
And we've got the Diablo on 2. So, and there's the Sisu he draws off the top of the deck. So really in a strong position here to get onto the board really, really quickly as Aiden gets on with the first lore. And that Diablo, that Palace Guard, that Sisu, they're going to go for a significant amount of lore as Ed needs to get the engine started here before he can really start dealing with the opposite side of the board. So it's going to take some time to build that up.
Yeah, I like that. Favoring that early 2-quester, getting that Diablo in. Maybe this Diablo can go for 6, maybe 8 lore before he can be accosted, potentially. I think the only one who can get after him, maybe you even have to trade your Prince Philip, but you really don't want to do that either. The Cinderella on 4 seems very good, but that lore is starting to mount as the youngster Bradley understands his matchup very well, just curving out, getting a bunch of 2-questers down. I think he's taking your advice to heart. But Ed now is on the back foot here, trying not to go down to his own unique strategy as the Cinderella here, dreams come true, gets into the Clarabelle. Now, is that going to be enough to catch up? I don't know, as Ed is kind of against it now, as this Genie is going to come on through another 2-quester on 4 as Aiden is Aggro Town Central hitting the gas pedal, questing for another 5-piece, getting all the way up to 9 is Aiden.
Yeah, Aiden doing exactly what you want to do as the Ruby Amethyst player. Something on turn 1, something on turn 2, something on turn 3, and the Genie, which quests for 2. And now we have the Prince Philip combo, which is being teed up on the side of Ed. Doesn't necessarily have that locked and loaded ready to go just yet, but it will be happening soon. Aiden needs to be aware of that and not potentially put too much on the board here that Ed can just completely wipe as the library does come down. Very smart on Aiden's side of the board.
Oh, 100%. But he gets into the malicious, mean, and scary. So this could be the time where Ed can kind of catch this thing up. You do have all your characters to the location as well. So now you're going to have to potentially get the shift. And he can't even hit the location and then sing the song, because you won't have the, how can you do this to get this done right? I think that location just makes this thing that much more complicated, as you will going to have to clear this board right now. And there he is. The Prince Philip will come through, malicious, mean, and scary, sing, clear the board, but you are going to gain more resources here.
Yeah, the Prince Philip combo does come down, but like we said, very smartly of Aiden to go ahead and get that library down and get those characters into the library, as he has gained a significant amount of lore here. The library has taken 6, so it will be removed next turn, but has a pretty decent hand here to get some more characters down onto the board, but not a ton of ink to work with here if you're Aiden. Could go for a Diablo and a Palace Guard, could go for the Headless Horseman, but you want to make sure that you're getting as much lore pressure onto the board as possible, because Ed really, unless he has songs to sing, can only deal with one thing at a time.
Nice. Yeah. And I believe he's at 17 now, is the youngster Aiden, who has also this threatening library that's up. The Headless Horseman is going to come on through, representing another 2 pieces of lore. We are going to get rid of that Cinderella Dreams Come True. We put out another lore as well, the Palace Guard. So Aiden's still trying to keep the pressure up. We do have that Hades the Infernal Schemer, who is live and active, who can clear that 2 quest in character, while the Prince Philip, Prince Charming, Prince Philip is going to be his name. He's going to come through and be able to finish off that library, but that still might be 1 lore left. We're going Basil here.
Yeah, putting the Basil down, now you can start thinning out the hand as well. It's basically the same thing as Hades, right? It's removing the threat off of the board, and there's nothing that the Headless Horseman will be able to take care of on Ed's side of the board. So right now, just trying to manage the threats as they come down here for Aiden, but you have some pretty good options here with your Tinkerbell and your Diablo as well, and you can just get the Headless Horseman down again if you'd like, but putting down 2 characters on this turn would be huge. Aiden would be able to quest up to that 18, but you'd really, really like to get two lore questers down onto the board if you can, and you do have the ink to do so.
Yeah, I think that's the correct move after all. Just putting as many threats as possible on the board, presenting a game every single turn is going to be a vibe, as the Palace Guard is going to get another quest in for 1. Now you're representing a lot of pressure. You do have that Hades the Infernal Schemer. You do have that Basil. You also have that Vision of the Future. Maybe Vision of the Future can find you another answer to one of these ready characters, but it's probably going to come at the cost of a You're Welcome or Mother Knows Best or something like that, and it's going to give Aiden just more utility and fuel to keep going, as Basil is looking for a quest here to take a card out of the youngster's hand. One of those is the Headless Horseman. The other is a Tinkerbell, I believe.
We'll see what we're able to get here. It is at random, as they're just going to go with the even odd strategy. It is the Tinkerbell.
And that's not the worst thing in the universe for the youngster Aiden, who's going to go ahead and send that send that Diablo to the discard as we get into the Cheshire Cat. So now you have the ink to go ahead and quest 1 or exert 1, gain 1, draw 1 for another Cheshire Cat. Can you put some more lore down onto the board? And I think he can. So that is going to be another 6 ink for a double Cheshire Cat, and I think Ed is going to need another full combo here, and I just don't think he got it. The Cinderella comes at the most inopportune time. You hate to see it.
Yeah, there it was, lined up 1, 2, 3 cards in a row there, and Ed is just going to say, let's scoop it up and go into game number 2, as the Ruby Amethyst deck was able to take it there. And like we've mentioned a bunch of different times, if the Ruby Amethyst deck can get going quickly, they can finish the game before the Emerald Sapphire deck can stabilize. That includes playing the Prince Philip combo. We saw it there, but it simply wasn't enough, because after you have to have an answer every single turn for all the cards that are coming down on the board. We saw the library gain the lore. We saw the library draw cards as well. So Aiden played that as perfectly as you would like, and taking a game off of the 2nd place World Championship finisher, Edmund Chu.
Yeah, he's trying to go back to back. I'm just checking on the stream. I don't know if you have the ability to throw those deck lists up here really quick. Maybe people might want to be interested to see what they have cooked up. I don't know if you have a scene for that or if that's going to work, but I think we might be having some more internet related issues to the situation here. Hopefully everything is going well on your end. I can't quite tell what's happening from my end, but everything is a little. Are you having some storms over there? Is he storming Norman?
No, but I am getting some dropped frames, that's for sure. So I apologize for the poor viewing experience if that's what's going on, but everything was working beautifully before it was time to go live, and then it goes live and things go wrong.
That's how I don't think we have an LCCC without some technical issues. I think one of the LCCC TI is where the technical issues are around, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, we're going to have Ed here on the play this time, and if the Emerald Sapphire deck is on the play, it's very much in their favor because they are able to get that engine going much, much quicker and put out threats that can challenge into the board instead of relying on the Prince Philip combo to just banish the entire opposite side of the board. So right now, Ed would feel super favored here on the play. But, you know, Aiden did win the dice roll at the end of the day, so we'll get another opportunity to be on the play if this game doesn't go in his favor. But if you're Ed, what do you want to go for here?
If I'm going all in on Clarabelle. I think I win or lose depending on what I have in my deck. If I have maybe a card like, I know he played Mother Knows Best last round. I think that'd be kind of neat. I'm going for the Clarabelle, and I'm trying to shift Clarabelle, and I'm trying to You're Welcome something, and then I'm just trying to get that big body on the board. Maybe I can match Wiz with these stats, but this Ruby Amethyst deck has a ton of stats of their own. We saw the Malicious Mean and Scary combo, and I think it came down to that library. That library was super vital for Aiden to be able to keep some energy after that combo popped off. So I'm looking for that. We're ramping on two. We're playing the Cinderella, and I'm trying to get to these Clarabelles, the big one, as soon as I can, just to keep myself in this fight with those stats and draw some cards. What about you? What are you looking for Ed?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, getting Clarabelle down on the board and drawing cards while you're on the play is one of the most powerful things that you can do. We have the option between a Prince Philip here or a You're Welcome. We're going to go for the You're Welcome, removing threats, giving your opponent cards, but also being able to take advantage of your Clarabelle if you're able to get to that shift line. Look at Aiden here, top decking like a beast, finding another 1-drop. You could go triple 1-drops here, but you do have the Diablo on too. We'll see what he opts to go with. Of course, the Diablo there is uninkable, but getting 2 extra bodies on the board is always nice if you're not able to get to a 3-drop that quests for 2. We'll see what Aiden wants to go with as Demona comes off the top.
Yeah, so Ed now looking a bit compromised here on the play. The hand isn't really going anywhere. Just looking at that Cinderella on your next turn as the questing power is starting to culminate again. We have the Diablo. We have that Palace Guard. We have another Palace Guard. We have Cheshire Cat to keep climbing up this curve.
Yep.
And then you have that library. We saw how effective the library was in that previous game. Maybe Aiden takes a turn off and just establish that location here on curve as Cinderella is going to come on through, getting rid of the Vision of the Future. So you're all in. You got the Basil as well as your next turn. Well, no, you got that'll put you at 6. You're still 1 turn away. You can go for another Cinderella if you like.
Yeah, turn something else magically into a different card with that Cinderella, as the Palace Guard is going to hit the Inkwell here. Here comes the Cheshire Cat, and we're turning things sideways. We're going as quickly as we possibly can as Aiden is up to 4. There's not a lot of challenging power on the opposite side of the board, but you could use this Clarabelle here to draw a card, or you could just go for the Cinderella, get the uninkable out of your hand, as Ed does decide to do. Now, thinking about the ink for the turn.
Yeah, I think he's really trying to hedge to see if you can get to that Prince Philip on one of these draws and have the ability to find it and get full combo to slow down all of this aggression. But still, you're not too bad in the lore race. Aiden is only sitting at 4 right now, and you're staring down these 2 Cinderellas who could, in theory, engage in fisticuffs with this Palace Guard if he elects to become exerted again. Granted, you will lose one and probably other as well, as Cheshire Cat can get some boost shenanigans happening your way. Going into the 4 ink turn, Genie is looking quite nice here to get a character out that can start to continue to quest. But also Library looks pretty good in this situation as the youngster goes Genie here on number 4.
Yeah, Genie obviously really, really solid. Not able to be engaged with in the evasive arena other than that Prince Philip in Edmund Chu's deck. As we find another Cinderella here, we are working with 7 ink, so we can go for the Basil this turn, but things aren't really coming off the top of the deck like Ed would like to see, as we do opt to go for the Cinderella yet again.
Yeah, I think he's digging for that Prince Philip in this situation, or maybe he's trying to engage in fisticuffs, just trying to take some of this lore off the board. But notably, in the previous round of the LCCC, Edmund Chu did not play Cinderella. And now he's playing Cinderella, so that's a very interesting thing to see these Cinderellas come in bunches. And we're just trying to cycle as many cards as we can just to find that Prince Philip. You find the Prince Philip, so that is a really, really good risk, and it paid off quite nicely for the DLC champion, North American Continental Champion. But is it too late again? And if Aiden sets up another library here, it's going to be a very good a relic to the past of the previous round. That just happened here. If you can put multiple characters into the library, and there is that library again.
Yep.
Diablo's in.
Aiden, knowing exactly how his deck is able to stabilize and come back once the Prince Philip combo is down, as we are going to go for a quick quest to 5 here, going up to 13. So we're in a similar situation as last time. However, Ed has many more characters on his side of the board this game as he comes into another malicious, mean, and scary. We are locked and loaded and ready to go here, but don't have the shift available, which is very notable. So if the shift was available, would be able to just take out the library on this turn. Ed needs to think about whether he wants to challenge into that library right now or just start questing, as he could just remove the library next turn with 1 Cinderella and 1 Prince Philip, but decides to go for 5 into the library.
Yeah, I don't hate that play at all. I think just get after that library while you can, and then next turn, if your Philip is questing for 3, he can close the game out super quickly by himself. So I love that challenge there from Ed with these Cinderellas who've done exactly what you put them in there to do. They were looking kind of bad there for a while, but just that filtration to find that Prince Philip to set up this combo, I thought was a nice take, as we have that Sisu now. So Aiden just trying to squeeze water out of a rock here in this situation. As you are so close to victory, you can just taste it, and you're just going to keep adding lore to the board and hope for not another combo, as the Sisu is going to find her way into the library now.
Yeah, that library gaining again an additional passive lore at the start of Aiden's turn. We're going to go ahead and spend some ink to move into the library, although he probably knows that that library is not going to be sticking around for much longer, but does have 4 lore on the board. We have another Prince Philip going into Edmund Chu's hand, has the combo again, and can clear the board plus the library, have 2 Prince Philips out there, and try to close this game really, really quickly with Aiden only 2 cards in hand as the combo comes down yet again. It was only a matter of time before Ed started getting into these really, really key combo pieces, using all of those Cinderellas to expertly filter through his deck.
Yeah, that is a very, very valid point. But you have this, they never come back. So that's another card that has been added to Aiden's deck. And I think that is, I mean, the Cinderella is showing why they're one of the best cards in the set. I am a little bit more down on Cinderella than I was at the beginning, but it's looking phenomenal in this exact situation. As you could go for a Demona situation, a Demona play here, and then I think you have the ink. No, you don't have the ink to pin down the Prince Philips after you Demona, but that will be really nice to do, as we are going to go ahead and they never came back now. And then we can bring out the Hercules to kind of keep some of that lore off the board potentially.
Yeah, gonna go for the Hercules here. Hercules is a really, really nice challenger, but does quest for 2. You also have to consider Demona is probably, or is definitely going to be able to give cards to Ed, as he has the removal piece for the Hercules going back into hand. We have a massive quest on the side of Edmund Chu going up to 10.
Yeah, and that was a textbook, well-played turn by the champ. Open-handed. We're going to just go ahead and take it right on in Scoop Town now. So game number 3 is underway, as Aiden now will be on the play again. Ed Chu came out doing what the deck designed to do, play that combo, play it well, and hope for the best. But the youngster Aiden, I like that line of being able to set up the library a little bit later into the malicious, mean, and scary turn, and then it's not so scary after all, because you're able to get a few more cards back. So shout out to him for figuring that one out. And now Ed is going to be up against it here on the draw one more time. What does Aiden need to do now? We saw both of these players have an opportunity on the play, get that victory. I'm sorry, Ed's on the draw now. What does Aiden need to do on the play, and what does Ed need to do on the draw in order to try to turn that corner as quick as possible?
Aiden wants to do exactly what he did in game number 1, which is just get that Palace Guard down, Diablo into Sisu, into Genie or Hercules, something that quests for 2 on turn number 4 and just rip them, go sideways, and get that library out right before the Prince Philip combo can come down. Ed wants to do what he did in the previous game, just do it as quickly as he possibly can. Getting that small Prince Philip down as a combo piece really, really helps because it cannot be interacted with. As we're going to take a look at the hands here for Aiden, we do have a 1-drop. We do have the Diablo. Looks like we're going to keep those 2 and ship everything. We're satisfied with that Diablo. It's good enough. It'll quest the way we need it. And take a look at the rest of the hand. We have the Sisu. We have the Genie. And we even have a Headless Horseman on turn number 5. If there's a Cinderella on the opposite side, or a Tipo, or anything that can be hit, Aiden could not ask for a better hand here. Well, maybe for a library for being a little bit greedy, but it's looking really good.
Absolutely, I agree. But Aiden has to get those rest of those cards back into that deck. I think we're going to. There we go. Just in case you put them off to the side, you might be forgetting, and then you got to get that, get those things shuffled up, get that cut going, and then it's going to be time to ball outrageous. So we're going to have an interesting game on us. You have that 2 quests in Diablo, and I think he has an argument for being one of the best cards in this set for what he does. He fulfills a lot of roles for this ruby color type. This is something that they've been missing desperately for a long time. A character that can quest and contest the board. A very solid, rigid 2-cost character, and I think he's up there. He's on my top 10 list for sure of best cards in this exact set because he's just so versatile.
Yeah, and it's funny how every time a Diablo card gets printed, it's somehow one of the best cards in the game. Somebody over there at Ravensburger loves that Raven, as we get another amazing Diablo into the game and just slots right into the metagame as a powerful 2-quester that comes down on turn 2. We saw how powerful Mr. Smee was for so long. As we send the Donald Duck to the bottom, we want to keep the vision of the future as another Headless Horseman goes into the hand for Aiden, and we are going to get that Diablo onto the board as Tinkerbell is going to quest for 1.
Yeah, but looking at Ed's hand, he has all the tools of the trade to do the textbook opening, as we are going to ink that Cinderella. We have the Prince Philip small, we have the Malicious, Mean, and Scary, we have the big Prince Philip. But looking at the hand after that, if you can somehow survive this combo or clear this Prince Philip, do you have any answers for this Prince Philip though in your deck there? As we are going to take another sail on the Azurite Sea right now.
Yeah, really the only answer that you would have easily for the Prince Philip combo would be Hades, and then your opponent choosing to get rid of him for you.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem likely, but I mean, you could crash something like an Iago in there plus an Elsa, but you're going to be 2 for 1-ing yourself. It's really difficult to remove this Prince Philip at a 6/6 stat line. Ruby can banish things, of course, with the Headless Horseman, right? But not how it used to with Lady Tremaines and things of that sort. So it's difficult to get that big guy off the board. You want to force him to challenge instead of letting him quest, as Tipo is going to take out the Tinkerbell there, removing some lore, which is why you would typically like to see the Palace Guard, because Tipo and Cinderella are not able to remove it as easily.
But notably, Ed was not able to fulfill the second inking requirement of the Sail the Azurite Sea, so he had to take a turn off because the Prince Philip, I mean, he just didn't have, he drew back-to-back Hades there in that scenario. But if you go full combo next turn, which is looking good for you to do, you're going to be kind of out of ink, man. You're going to need to draw several ink. I know Ed is going to always focus on playing the lowest amount of ink unink possible, but you really are going to put yourself in an ink crisis, as youngster Aiden is going to hit the gas pedal and go into it, right into a potential Malicious, Mean, and Scary. You need some ink, and there is the ink right there, the Clara Beasley off the top. We're doing the full combo as the shift is in on the exerted Prince Philip, and that will blow up the entire assortment of cards.
Yeah, those are out. Unfortunately for Aiden, did not have the library as he did in the first 2 games. We're going to go ahead and ink this Elsa. We're not really valuing it at this point. Let's get more ink in the inkwell. Speaking of which, here comes Hades, removing that threat on the opposite side of the board really, really easily as the Clarabelle goes into the inkwell for Edmund Chu, and he is sitting on 1 more Hades, as we are looking for a deal here. You want to get rid of your best card or let me draw 2? We're going to draw 2 very quickly.
He gave him those two cards almost immediately, as we are kind of gearing up this Iago to go down to the Inkwell as well. That's a card that I'm kind of looking at, this Iago. I would think we want to try to keep him around a little bit, maybe to try to aggress this evasive character. Maybe there's a way you can get that attack or that strength strong enough to get after this evasive Prince Philip, who is just free and clear to just run, just leg it on out to victory. As here it is, the Headless Horseman and the Hades, or the Hercules, are going to come on through. Still trying to potentially get into a race scenario, but the race is starting to pick up steam as
Yeah,
we're going sailing. We're going Donald.
absolutely. It was really important. I hope people were noting there at home that Aiden was inking there every turn so he could get two characters down as quickly as possible to get as much lore as he can. But he is up against it right here. He can obviously look for a deal here, but I doubt Ed is going to take it as he has everything he needs here. But we do have the ability to challenge into these Hades. Yep, Hercules does get a bonus strength there for the Headless Horseman, banishing that Donald Duck, so we will be able to take out one of these Hades, but unfortunately we'll still have 5. But the other Headless Horseman may be able to challenge here at 6, right? Because Hercules will
so this Hercules can
buff
clear
up
one
the other
Hades.
one. Yep,
And then now that one's strong enough to trade with the Hades.
exactly.
And then now you still have questing for 3. And the youngster Aiden has a low-key 5 on board right now, but that's not going to be enough, as Ed has the Basil now to be able to continue to run this race. If you want it, you can just straight up quest for 3 and bounce and throw that tempo off one final time. And here is the Basil, who is probably going to be the victory position unless something super groovy can come through off top of this deck. And it is the Diablo. And that is going to
there
get
comes
it
the
done
fist bump
for...
out.
Woo! Man, that was a fast and furious match, man.
That
These players
was.
were moving and grooving these cards. Hey, Garrett. Holy moly, that was 25 minutes, the whole thing?
Yeah, they went very, very
It was like
quickly.
2 hours long.
Yeah, I mean, that's how this matchup goes. One deck is trying to go as fast as they can, and the other is trying to stop them. You got to turn, and you got to burn, as we are going to pull up the decks and speak with the players here.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's
At least
get it.
at the end of the day, you know, North America picked up a win. But alternatively, they also picked up a loss.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
And we got the
Ed.
youngster. The youngster's rolling in with the chain on. We're going to have to do a little bit of croppage there. I'm sure you can cook, as we have... we got to join the channel there. Ed, what is up, man?
What's going on?
Nice.
Chilling.
Are you in? What's your location right now? Where are you at right now in the
I'm
world?
at home, bro. What do you mean? I'm at
Oh, I
home.
thought you were
I'm
going
flying
over to the DLC.
Singapore. I'm
Yeah.
going tomorrow, so I'll be.
Are you leaving tomorrow? Okay, so you are going to go to Singapore. Well, good luck to you, and congratulations on your victory in the LCCC. You are started off. You are now 2-0 now. You had to go up against the youngster Aiden, playing some of your patent pending colors. We like the Ruby Amethyst gang. A lot of people believe that deck is bike. What are your thoughts on it? And what are your thoughts on the deck that you made? And can you just talk about some of the changes that you made for your deck here for the LCC round 2?
Yeah, so I mean, Ruby Amethyst, sure, it's back, but I think it's really not the same deck. It's really just an aggro strategy. Like the original RP, the way I like to play it was like libraries with the B preps and the Sisus, and just being able to like control the board in that way, or being able to wipe the board. I think that's like my favorite thing to do, and I think that's why I'm playing green blue, because to me it's the most similar to red purple of the past, and that's why like I like playing it. In terms of like, is the deck back? Yeah, I think it's pretty strong right now, right? Especially because there's so much like genie, like amethyst type decks in the format. And Headless Horseman definitely is like one of the MVPs of the format, being able to like straight up remove it and then quest for 2, get additional strength, you know, when you need to challenge has been really good.
Nice. And just talk about your deck here that you brought to the LCC. You're still on it. You guys were allowed to change 10 cards maximum. Can you just talk about some of the changes, if you did make changes, and why did you make those changes for this round?
Yeah, so I did play in the CCQ this last weekend. I finished top 16. I actually eventually lost to Ruby Amethyst exactly the same way I lost to Aiden in like the first game. I was like the lower seed, I was on the draw, and he opened like, the curve, like Palace Guard, Diablo Sisu, Genie, Quest to 16, right? And then one of the games he was able to put the library to refill. And the other game I just didn't have the Shift Prince Philip combo. Something I kind of underestimated after I kind of tested a little bit. I remember last week I was like, I really didn't like Cindy, right, because of the uninkability, but I started to realize that it actually opened another like avenue to find the combo. For example, being able to play Cindy into Cindy usually gets you to 9, right? And then you can play Prince Philip Raw. And then in that second game, that was really funny. I don't think I've ever done that one before. We go 3 Cindy's and then you're
Yeah.
able to like get all the ink that way. And I think it's also really good just to be able to filter through your deck, right? I think Cindy's one of her like, strong abilities is being able to just dig another card deeper while getting you that ink. So if you play one Cindy, of course you get to dig one card deeper. And if you get to play 2 Cindy's, you basically get to effectively dig 3 cards deeper into your deck, right? So I think before the green blue deck was actually quite inconsistent because we didn't have these type of filtering cards. But I feel like now the deck has become a lot more consistent. Being able to do the Prince Philip combo has been really good. And I think that really brought the deck to like the next level.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well
I
said.
think you
Well,
were
thank you.
able to use those Cinderellas expertly there, filtering through your deck in the second game, just getting past all of like the filler cards that you didn't need until you could get to those really high powered ones that ended up finishing the game. So I really like that inclusion, and I appreciate the explanation for everybody, because it was interesting seeing you add in this card that you weren't super high on previously.
Yeah, and I think one more thing is that the uninkables. I thought that like Cindy being an uninkable made it worse, but I think you always wanted to play Cindy. I think my next iteration, I guess I'll just tell everybody. I think one of the kind of lower performing cards in the deck was the 3-cost Clarabelle. I basically never got to play her, and I was talking to Aiden about it as well. Like I think this curve with like the Diablo on 2 is actually quite problematic, and I think that's probably the number one thing that needs to be solved, especially when you're on the draw. And I guess some of the kind of ideas I was thinking about is like, playing maybe the 1-cost Basil to be able to combo with like the Tipo, for example, to be able to take out that Diablo, because otherwise, like, it, really snowballs the game out of control.
Yeah, absolutely. Those two questers are really, really powerful. And like you mentioned, the Ruby Amethyst strategy is not exactly the Ruby Amethyst strategy of the days of old. It's more like a tempo deck that's trying to gain advantage late and just quest really quickly. So it feels like it has game into everything, but this is definitely, I think, one of the harder matchups for it. How do you feel about the matchup overall? Do you feel like your deck is favored most of the time, either on the
Yeah.
play or draw?
Yeah, so I think this matchup is extremely play draw dependent. Like I don't think I mean I guess it's possible to lose on the play, but from my experience, like on the play this deck is quite insane. It has like the Clarabelle shift line and the Prince Philip like combo line. On the draw though, it's actually extremely uphill battle. From my experience, like the only way to really beat it, well, I guess last game I got kind of lucky, but I think the only like realistic way to beat it is to double ramp into Prince Philip shift combo on turn 4. And I think you saw me try to do that last game, but I got really unlucky, drew like 2 Hades back to back. So I was actually unable to shift on turn 4. So I had to delay myself by 1 turn. Obviously, you can't ink any of those cards, right? And obviously, if I had the hindsight that like I knew I was gonna get 2 Hades, I was just gonna play the Cindy instead, and then you wait 1 turn, right? But I was really scared because you open turn 2 Diablo. You really have to respect that card, and if they play that, you really have to speed up that wipe combination.
Yeah, I think that Aiden was able to really leverage the power of the library as well in games 1 and 2. Not able to find it there in game number 3, unfortunately for him, but that's an interesting include in the deck. And in that game number 2, you were able to play the Prince Philip, right? But you weren't able to shift it and take out the library immediately. Just talk us through that turn a little bit. How worried were you of that library and helping
Mhm.
Aiden get over the finish line?
Yeah, I mean the thing is like I don't really have a choice in that matter. Like I have to wipe or else he's just gonna win the game from questing. So I mean, you just wipe and then you attack down the library slowly, like with whatever you have, and then you just hope that, your top decks are pretty good. You're able to get some Basils and get some Hades and just eventually kind of crawl your way back out of the game. So I think we're at a point where, if you can get your opponent to, 50 under 15 lore, you're like pretty happy about it. Like in game three, he didn't open Sisu. I think that was like one of the main factors that also helped me a lot. Like if it's two questers every turn, yeah, you get to 16, and then I think the game is just too out of control. But I think if you're under 15, it's totally manageable if you can like just draw the right cards off the top, develop into one of these removal cards, and then win from there.
Yeah.
Right on, right on. Well, Ed, I gotta say, you're a looker, you're a sacker. You had to cheat to win. I'm kidding. I'm joking, by the way. You're sacking Aiden, okay? I'm Team
Yeah,
Aiden. No offense to you. I wanted
yeah,
Aiden to take
all
you
good.
down. I'm joking. I'm joking. But
I got
seriously, you needed
honestly
to go
those
down
three games
there.
I got super lucky. No,
Oh
no,
no.
those three games I got super lucky. No, honestly, I did.
No, I'm joking. I'm
But
joking. But we're
you
gonna bring
definitely need
Aiden
some
in
luck.
as well. Aiden
Yeah.
is here in the building with us, holding it down right now, and he played his patent pending Ruby and Amethyst strategy for this event again. And I had some of the same questions to you, youngster Aiden. I think you played very well. You were very close to probably turning around that at game number three. But can you just talk about your deck? I think we're gonna try to get that deck list up on the screen so you guys can see it. Can you just talk about your deck and what are some of the changes that you made for your deck going into this next round, if you made any at all?
I mean, I added in the library, which clearly showed good in games one and two, especially one. Like the one extra lord that basically green blue can just not take down because the Philip only has six strength. A quest for
Hmm.
three, which is a pretty big threat, but usually you're able to deploy something that can, well, usually get four lore, like deploy two Diablos or something, and then get the lore off that, and then so usually you get board wiped when you have 14 lore, and then the
Hmm.
library usually gains you two lore because of the Philip. It challenges it once, so it gets a lore. So they do the combo. End
Hmm.
turn, so you get one lore, and then they challenge, and then if they shifted it, well, they challenge into it. The
For
next
sure.
turn, the next turn, they're either waste six lore or do it. So either you're at 15 with them basically minus six lore, or you're at the other turn, you're at a different area with 16 lore and still a library on play. Uh,
I think it's a slam dunk ad. I mean, and then we saw how effective it was in that first game, and also that second game too, to a bit of a lesser extent, and just drawing the cards as well. I mean, is that typically when you want to play it? Because we saw you played it at the perfect time, right before Ed was basically forced to do the full combo on you. So I can see your strategy kind of worked out nicely there.
if my strategy was top decking the library when I needed it, then yes, it worked out perfectly.
Hey, I'm trying to you gotta have hey, good players draw good cards at the right time, Aiden. You gotta hey, that's the way you planned it, man. There are no coincidences, okay? And skill, it's all part of the plan. Remember that.
Totally.
Aiden, this is Garrick here.
Yeah,
I wanted to congratulate you here on the very, very well played game. I thought you could not have played it any better. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this David Xanatos. Could you tell me what you think of this card, how it's been in the list thus far, and if you would go up on it at all, or if you think it's just a one of?
I feel like it's good as a one of because you can do it and then you can like you can use the library to your advantage. Like if you have a Demona, it could like feed your opponent three cards. I had to play on the thing that you do not call anything.
Right.
There you go.
The
I like that.
the feeding source. Uh, I had a library out and the David Xanatos dry, and they had an exerted Dumbo. I top decked the Vanellope, so you could play the Vanellope, tap one to move it, quest to David, give the strength not strength, the rush to Vanellope, challenge into the Dumbo, get one card off the David Xanatos, and then get a card off the library without even refilling your opponent. So I think it's good as a one of. You don't want to see it every match, so I think it's pretty good right there as a one of. The Hades, I mean, just more card draw, sometimes removal. So you kind of it's kind of like you kind of want to have it, so they have to play around it.
Nice. Nice. Okay. And now people might be afraid of it. But taking us through this match, Aiden, is there anything from your perspective that you think, hey, I could have done this different, or any regrets that you might have by any of your gameplay, and especially just highlighting some of your matches where you maybe didn't have the victory there. Is there anything that you, hey, I wish I'd have done this different?
Uh, I don't
I mean,
really know.
if you played it perfect, you just say, I think I did it. The cards just didn't come my way. That's totally fine too. I don't want to put you on the spot.
I mean, I probably have to rewatch my entire match because it's kind of hard to remember literally everything that just happened. But
Hmm.
I probably had a few misplays somewhere around. But I mean, I'm not the super pro to know everything about that.
Okay. Right on, man. Right on.
Yeah, I thought it was extremely well played from my perspective, and I think you'll be pleased watching it back as well. I think it was very well played by both of you. I wanted to get your opinion on the Hercules in the list. I think this card is super cool. You were able to use it there at the end to challenge into the Hades, not taking any damage after using the Headless Horseman to give him additional strength, and then challenge the other Hades. Obviously, it wasn't enough to get you over the finish line, but almost there. How do you feel about the Hades in the list? Do you think that you do have enough heroes? I mean, you have the Sisus, the Elsas, and sometimes the Dumbo even matters. So give us the thoughts on Hercules coming down, sometimes on turn 4, sometimes a little bit later.
I mean, we do the 4/5 with the Hercules Elsa to kill something.
Yeah.
It's super fun to do that because basically they hold something upright, you play that, and then you kill something of your choice. Or if you do that with Demona and a few heroes, basically you can swing the entire game in your favor if you do that.
Yeah, especially if that Lumiere out there, right? Like exerting a Clarabelle and just one-shotting it with Hercules, win the game on the spot. It feels really, really good. So I like the card as well. I think both of the Ruby legendaries being in this deck and performing well is really cool to see. And yeah, I think you played it really expertly.
Thank you.
JD, you want to hop in here? Anything else you'd like to ask either of these players before we transition things into the ICL?
Right on, man. I just want to say I'm always very thankful that both of you guys are coming out and participating in the LCCC. Aiden, it didn't work out for you this time, but we definitely have we definitely don't think hold you for granted. I mean, you did lose to another NA counterpart, so I really don't even count it. This is just like a practice match, a scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? So I still count you as undefeated here in the LCCC. And Ed, obviously, I think you're a sacker for one. I mean, I think you're okay. I mean, whatever, dude. And that's pretty much it, man. So that's all I got to say. I'm kidding. Love you
All
both,
good.
by the way. I got nothing but love for you.
I mean, I'm not out of the tournament.
No, you're not out. You're still very much in this thing, man. So just lock in and finish the drill. That's it.
Hope we get good matchups.
That's
Yes,
it.
absolutely. I think you have mostly good matchups as long as you don't run into this Emerald Sapphire deck. I think you're favored in everything else, at least in my opinion. But that could be some Ruby Amethyst biased on my part.
Boo green.
Yeah,
Boo green.
thumbs down.
Boo.
Boo green.
But yeah, that was very well played by both players. Thank you so much for the showcase. We are rooting for North America. We are showing our bias a little bit. JDZ, is there anything else we need to say before we wrap it up?
I think we got it done, man. I think this is it. I think it was a great show, a great showcase of talent, and I want to thank everyone for shout out to the judges, shout out to Ellie. Thank you guys for being patient while we sort through these technical issues. We will get it better. Obviously, this is going to be something we always improve on the LCCC, so make sure you keep watching and tuned in, and it's going to be great.
Awesome. Thank you so much, players. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Pavel. And we will see more Ed and more Aiden here in round number 3 as we are going to go ahead and transition here into the ICL as we are going to start our raid. Thank you so much for watching this LCC match, and we will see you in the next one.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good match.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, the raid is locking in, so stay in your seats. What is it? Seat back, upright position, all of that.
Keep your seat back in upright and lock position. There it is. Yeah, lock in. Tray table stowed.
We are sending
And
it
you know,
over right now.